Coming up right now, underwater super yachts could be the way of the future. Why someone like billionaire Jeff Bezos would love its high-profile perks.
Also coming up, an Italian beach town is offering the perfect place to get married. It's the ultimate wedding destination, but there's a catch.
And later, a tiny restaurant in Mexico is making big news for one item on its limited menu, but what earned this chef a Michelin star?
Ooh, big time. Daily Flash starts right now.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi everyone, I'm Andrea Jackson.
And I'm Matt Doolittle. Mitch English will be joining us a little later right here on the Daily Flash.
Okay, some scientific research with regard to babies' first words.
Okay.
Why do babies say dada more than mama as their first words?
Because spend more. No, they don't probably spend more time with them. I don't know.
Well, the scientific research suggests it has nothing to do with, even though they're calling mama dada, it's because they see mama all the time.
Yeah.
So when they're trying to formulate words, there's a thought that, it's easier for them to say dada as well. So, and they're always spending time with mama. So if they're trying to distinguish between the two, they're going to say that over.
Yeah, and if they call the milkman dada, that's a problem. If they still even have those. They don't even have those anymore. Yeah, well, I mean, that's interesting. A lot of them, it's what they're exposed to. But I mean, look what these kids were popping out with. Y'all be cool.
It's okay. It's all right.
They were popping out having British accents for a while because they were putting them in front of Bluey and some other show, and they said that these kids were just learning off the language of that, and they were having like 1 and 2 2-year-olds with like English accents.
Okay.
When the parents are from like Tennessee.
I could see that happening. The one mom that was involved in this study said she decided to refer to dad as father. So that the kid could distinguish and not say, not confuse mama and dada and say father instead of, mama.
It's a little formal if a 2-year-old's going, father.
Yeah.
What are you watching?
A 2-year-old, an infant, a 2-month-old.
Watching Bridgerton? Like, what is this?
There is a new toy for the uber rich. An Austrian company, I should say, says it can build a submersible yacht that can host up to 20 guests and 40 staffers. The concept involves a 540-foot super yacht that would travel about 820 feet underwater and stay down there for up to a month. The company describes it as the perfect vessel for yacht owners who want privacy, security, and protection. Buyers can fill out a checklist of options, including a helipad, a hot air balloon, and for the aspiring Bond villain, an underwater shark feeding station. The super yacht could host all kinds of extras like mini subs, exploration vehicles, and working boats. The cost? Well, if you have to ask, you can't afford it, my friend. That's what the company says. They also say there are only about 50 people in the world who could afford to purchase their very own super sub yacht.
Didn't we just have a thing where rich people were going underwater and something that really wasn't super approved?
The submersible to the Titanic?
Yeah, so I don't know. I like this. I do like the idea of sharks. They better have freaking laser beams on their head if they're going super villain, but this is definitely a Bezos buy.
Right, I think so too. I mean, do you really need to, I guess the suggestion here is if you can submerge your yacht, you're safe from pirates, you're safe from looting, you can dip down below the sea to kind of keep a low profile. The paparazzi can't snap pictures of you, frolicking on your yacht with someone who may or may not be your husband or wife.
Yeah.
So there are some advantages to it. My question is, why do you need a hot air balloon on a submersible yacht?
Because you're a super villain, and you use that to get to land to go to your volcano.
Okay.
Of course, if you have one of these, you have a volcano.
You have a volcano.
It comes with the volcano option. It has to.
Oh, a volcano option.
Yeah, volcano option. And all the sports cars have rockets on them. Bezos and Musk can fight it out underwater.
I like that Jeff Bezos has one of the largest yachts in the entire world. And not only does he have the super, super, super yacht, but he has a super yacht, a mini yacht that goes alongside the super yacht that basically acts as his own Costco on the water.
Oh, okay. Man, some people just got too much money.
Hey,
Well, I wouldn't mind having it. Couples hoping to celebrate their nuptials au naturel had an open invitation from officials in one beautiful Italian coastal destination. The location is halfway up Sardinia's west coast and is famous for making sure guests leave with no tan lines. Now, the beach town is working to host nude weddings. The mayor designed the hotspot clothing optional 2 years ago and recently announced plans for naked I do ceremonies. The town hopes their naked weddings will attract more tourists who enjoy living life in the buff. What do we know about a lot of these naked retreats?
Well, they're probably not the people that you idealize as being naked.
Exactly.
Not to say that there's anything wrong with that. If you want to be naked and nude, that's your thing. But oftentimes, I remember mistakenly going to Black's Beach in Del Mar, which is just north of San Diego. And I remember I was there with a friend and I looked over and I was just like, that man appears to be nude. And of course, Black's Beach is a nude beach, but I didn't know that at the time. And it was a very large man who was not sort of the epitome of an Adonis.
He's just giving you more to look at. You know, if he's going there, he's getting his money's worth.
I guess so.
I mean, if you got to do naked I do's, aren't you kind of past that stage if we get to the, like, save that for the night. Or
what about the guests?
Yeah, that's what I was
wedding?
about to say. Did they agree to that?
Do they? Do you want your guests to see you naked at your wedding?
No, I don't want her to see the horrible decision she just made. Like, really? You're gonna marry that?
You want to keep it all wrapped up.
You're gonna marry
A
that?
surprise later. Okay. A taco shop in Mexico City has become the first to win a Michelin star. El Califa de Leon is the only taco shop among 18 restaurants that earned the coveted Michelin star after Mexico was recently added to their esteemed list. Michelin reps met with head chef Arturo Rivera Martinez and gave him one of their famous white chef's coats. At the restaurant, there are only 4 things on the menu, and all 4 are beef tacos. The chef says the key to his success for the past 20 years is the quality of the ingredients he uses. El Califa is one of the smallest restaurants ever to get a Michelin star, and the prices are quite high by Mexican standards, with a single taco costing nearly $5. But that does not stop this shop from being packed with customers who stand and eat clutching plastic plates filled with tacos and fresh salsa.
Well, I'm sure this gives him a nice pop being the only Michelin star taco stand out there. And I mean, if it's $5, it's not bad anymore with the inflation up there.
That's a bargain.
I think Taco Bell is even close to like $2 a taco. So I mean, for $3 more, you get a Michelin style thing. Yeah.
Taco, yeah. I'd travel to El Califa to check it out.
Why not? I mean, it's a destination. I mean, look, I'm all for. I'll wait in line, 30 minutes for In-N-Out Burger. So, if anything, for a Michelin-starred taco.
If that's a lot of people have their own thing. Food is part of some people's desire. Like that's their
travel.
luxury.
People will travel for food like
absolutely.
that. Well, a devoted Madonna fan paid tribute to her favorite artist by getting a record-breaking 18 tattoos of Madge on her body. Tara Berry earned the Guinness World Record for the most tattoos of the same musician on the female body. That's a thing. Berry said she got her first Madonna tattoo in 2016 when she heard the singer was looking for tattooed fans to appear in a music video, but her ink rendition of the singer wasn't finished in time to make the cut. The images Berry turned into tattoos span the singer's entire career and include a recreation of the famous kiss between Madonna and Britney Spears at the 2003 MTV Video Music Awards. She says she has spent close to $10,000 on the ink. Okay, what did she do with the new Madonna?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Did she get the new Madonna, the Madonna that doesn't look like Madonna on there? Because this Madonna is not the Madonna I knew.
I guess the question is, could you ever be that passionate about one of your fans to tattoo your entire body with their image?
No, I mean, I see guys that have like, I'm a big sneakerhead. I see guys that have Jordan tattoos, and I'm like, you got a company logo tattooed on you?
Yeah, it's a little odd.
I know when Kobe passed, people were just getting full sleeves and backs of Kobe and all these things to pay tribute to him. And it's a weird thing to have like all those images. Like I get when people get like their kids' baby pictures or sometimes their wives, if they know they're going to be with them for a little while, done on them until they're not, and they just turned into a devil or something.
Of course, the name tattoo is always the kiss of death in any relationship. I just don't know, at what point do you look back and say, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
If you're making that life decision, like face tattoos, you're just going to roll with that the rest of your life.
Come on.
You're not going, I mean, what is it? Pete Davidson tried to walk back all that stuff he had on and said it was the most painful thing he ever went through.
Yeah.
Most of them were like stupid tattoos. So
not only is the tattoo business skyrocketing, but the tattoo removal business is also skyrocketing.
People,
and you look at some of these things, and I'm like, I don't even know how you would remove that.
No, and especially when they're full body things. Who's that? Was it Machine Gun Kelly just tattooed over all of his stuff with just black? I'm not getting Madonna tattooed.
No, you're not? Even if someone paid you $1 million.
Right. I need that yacht.
Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. Mitch English here. Tax season. The feds have so many new rules. Even celebrities may need an army of accountants to keep up. But if you don't have that type of money, don't worry. I got an army of taxes. I don't need it because the sassy accountant is joining us, Chantel Williams. Welcoming you back. You're going to give us some tips on what we need to do. Do we got to send our blood type this year for our government? Because they want to know everything. What do people need to be on the lookout for? You got some few tips that that people need to be aware of.
Just have your paperwork in order. The main one is going to be if you have filed did insurance, to have your insurance paperwork. Whether you want to file it on your own or use a professional, if you do not have your actual insurance documentation to prove you paid for insurance, you will get held up.
Okay, don't want that to happen at all. You got some tips also that you're talking about contributing to retirement accounts. All right, you got 401ks, but let's say your company doesn't offer one. What do you do?
You can actually start your own. Get with a financial advisor and it will really, really help. I have a couple clients who actually invest in their own RAs and stocks and investments, and what they end up doing is able to count it as a write-off, and so it helps a whole lot on their tax.
And if you don't know where to start, an accountant is a perfect place. They know that, hey, listen, not everybody gets what this 401k deal is all about. Be able to answer that in IRAs and that sort of thing. All right, organize your records for tax time. That just seems pretty important. But before that, you want to make a last-minute estimated tax payment. Why, and what is that?
So you want to do that because if you actually make over 150,000, you're going to get hit big time. So you want to make sure that you know exactly how much you need to pay. You can actually go on irs.gov and run the calculations to see how much you need to pay if you don't have an accountant or a tax professional to assist you doing that. And it will also help you make a decision if you need to put some more in your investments or your investment account before the end of the year.
Okay, that makes and so it's less stressful this time when it happens. Yes. Okay, and we always hear about itemization and keeping receipts. Is it that big of a deal?
Well, if you're self-employed, yes, because you can count a lot on your taxes as a write-off, especially if you're getting a Schedule C done on your tax return. And you want to make sure that you're counting your losses in the right places, because you can actually count everything as a loss, and in doing so, you're broke. So you don't want to be broke on paper, but you still want to be rich, right?
Sure.
So
Yes.
there's a way to be rich broke at the same time, as long as you keep your paperwork and the people you work with know exactly where to put those losses at.
And they will. A good accountant will be able to do just that. You talk about filing and paying on time. Now, that just makes sense, but why is that so important?
Well, it's important because you will get hit with penalties and fees. But here's the thing. If you actually take the time to sit with someone and do tax planning in advance, because you can invest in other places, you can give yourself a bonus, you can give yourself more money in your 401k or your IRA. So you can structure it so you can give yourself more money instead of IRS more money. And then that also save you in your taxes in the end.
Okay. Now, I've also heard, I guess it's a rumor, that you should, wait until like April 15th to file, because then your paperwork's all the way down at the bottom, and you're not going to get audited or less chance of audit. Is that true?
No, not really. The time of the year really doesn't matter. But if you're in the beginning, in that first batch, because so many people are actually filing your taxes and the system is ran through a computer, believe it or not, it'll just kind of process you through. So the earlier, the better, but make sure you take time to actually, get a quote.
Yeah. Make sure that you know that, number one, that everything that you have turned in is okay, is fine. If you're missing a form, will they let you know immediately? Or?
They will. So the system will let you know if it's something imperative for you to have when you're filing your taxes, it'll actually won't even let us process it through. Like again,
Oh,
your
I didn't know.
insurance
Okay.
documentation. If we don't have that, it will not let it through.
Okay, it's a little safeguard, I guess you could say
Correct.
that. And then finally, filing electronically is very important.
Yeah, filing electronically is really good because then you can have an actual electronic trail. You can set up an account on irs.gov and you can be able to go inside and check the status of it, see if you owe anything, or if you're getting a return back and you actually owe money, they'll deduct that from what you owe and it'll be like you're paying them back with some of the money you'll get.
What are some of the biggest mistakes that you see people make when they file?
Not shopping around. Most people just do their taxes on their own or they use the software that they can do free services on. But here's the thing, it's not really free. It starts off free. And then if you want them to open up more features, you got to pay an extra $29, an extra $50, an extra $80. And at the end of the day, you're paying the same thing you would have paid a professional to do the job for you. So be careful about using free online resources and shop around. Like take the time. We had someone come to us and they only got a $6,000 quote back for what they would have received back. When we were done, they were getting $13,000.
Wow.
Because of the deductions and the itemizations and understanding the laws. They change daily. So you want to work with someone who's actually up on the laws.
You mentioned $150,000 a couple times as a kind of like a requirement. Is that like if you're married or individually?
Married individually, that's kind of that number. So now if
Okay,
your
okay.
income exceeds that, you want to have some kind of other side business. You want to do hair, bake cakes, babysit, do something at the church. You want to bring in another stream of income that you can file on a Schedule C so you can have some losses and walk away with some money.
I love that idea. And then finally, the deduction people forget about that they need to know about.
Oh, their tithes and offerings from church. They forget that
really?
one. Yes, there's your tithes and offering from church, daycare. If you have daycare, aftercare, or children's sports activities, that's a huge one. And then also, if you are a W-2 person and you also have a 1099, don't just toss it off as, oh, it was just a couple $100. Claim that. If you've made more than $600 from any source at all, claim that money because that will offset some of your tax responsibilities.
You know, we think of that too. You want to get the numbers together, how much you have to pay in taxes and how much you've made. Am I right on that?
Yes, of course.
And you say get a second job learning hair. I'm going to set up an appointment. I'm going to do your hair, all right?
All right, you can do it.
Oh, that's sweet of you. Hey, listen, we love having you on. You always lay it out perfectly.
Thank you.
Sassy accountant. You can check out the ALP firm. You can go and find out more details as well. ALPfirm.com. Get those taxes in on time and correctly so you don't get audited at all. We have more Flash coming up right around the corner. Don't go anywhere. We love you. We're going to learn more about car smarts and exactly just how your car insurance, speaking of car insurance, makes a big deal and you might be paying more.
Wow.
Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English. All right, you found the perfect car you've been looking for. Now what? Well, you got to get it insured, right? In today's Car Smarts, Lauren Fix, the car coach, tells us why, well, you're probably going to be paying a lot more.
Car insurance rates are going to increase again. Big insurers say they need to boost their premiums further to offset higher costs for repairs. Is that really true? Well, experts are predicting car insurance rates will rise at least 8.4% this year, and that started back in January, and at least they're expecting more increases from the two largest insurers. They're saying their rates rose that much more in the first quarter, and they're expecting even more hikes before the year end. So buckle up. Everything is about to get more expensive, and it's important you know what and why. Let's start with inflation. It is here. And as everything is increasing in price from fuel to food to housing, the rate of customer car insurance claims is not rising. And insurance companies are getting away with fewer insurance claims and record profits. And that was back during COVID-19 lockdowns as well, when traffic was light, people were staying at home, and minor fender benders were at an all-time low. Now, the most common insurance claim is a fender bender. And now that driving habits have returned to pretty much normal, people are back on the roads and moving around with life. And insurance claims are starting to creep back up to normal levels. And prices on car parts and repairs are still high. And since parts are hard to get and they're backlogged, that's leaving more customers to rely on insurance-provided rentals, which means they're taking a little bit more of a loss. Then there's been a sharp rise in catastrophic claims, both in autos and in homeowner insurance. Think about all the snowstorms, hurricanes, and tornadoes we've had across the country. And thanks to unprecedented flooding and strong storms in cities across the U.S., companies like Allstate saw catastrophic losses because of surges in claims by over $1 billion in the first quarter compared to last year. And Allstate executives said rates would go up until we get back to our historic profit margins. Insurance companies are claiming that they're falling on hard times and taking losses. Progressive shares slipped 2.5% following the release of their quarterly shareholder letter. They have reduced advertising for their well-known marketing character known as Flo, the fictional salesperson. Progressive said the move, being accompanied by premium rate increases, is not intended to bring growth to a screeching halt. Any impact would depend on how rivals also adjust their prices. Insurance companies claim that they need rate increases of around 10 more points. That's 10% this year, just to catch up and stay ahead of all the trends of the higher costs and claims for private passenger vehicles. So far, drivers have seen increases in the range of 8 to 12%. Adding another 10% would be absolutely crazy. The average price of a new car is just shy of $50,000 and $66,000 for an electric vehicle, which has even higher insurance rates. Make sure to shop around online before you renew your insurance policy. Don't assume they're going to give you a great rate, because they may not be. And you can save a few dollars by increasing your deductible. You can take safe driver courses, points reduction classes, and bundle your home and car insurance. I'm starting to sound like Flo. I don't know how that happened. But it's important that you do your homework and don't just renew the policy. I'm Lauren Fix, and you can find this information on my website, carcoachreports.com and dailyflashshow.com.
Well, thanks, Lauren. Well, in this week's Furry Friends, I know most of us here at Daily Flash are pet lovers and have our little furry friends at home. I've got my Bizkit, the Kiki, Mitch has his cats, Andrea has her dogs, but there's that inevitable part of being a pet owner when they have to cross that rainbow to the other side. And up till now, the idea of grieving a pet wasn't brought to light. Well, now support groups are popping up all over the country for grieving pet owners. Now, there's a good chance you're going to outlive your pets, especially the basic house cat or dog, by many years. And to most of us, they become a part of the family. The president of the Association for Pet Loss and Bereavement says people sometimes think they're going crazy because of what they're feeling and how badly they feel over the loss of a pet. Other experts credit the spike in the need to talk about the loss of their pet because of the pandemic, which they say made people more aware of the grief and more inclined to express it. Many people found themselves becoming closer to their pets during the lockdowns. Now, the best course is to find a legit support group in your local area via a shelter or an animal medical center, and watch out for those scam organizations online that just want to take your money to pat you on the back. So it's important that, once you grieve that pet, I know I had to put down a dog a few years ago, and it really crushed my whole family. Now, once you've grieved over your animal, the next thing is to look for a companion if you're so inclined. And experts say it's always right to find that perfect companion. So just make sure you go through the right steps, talk to some people, get some experts, and definitely check out those shelters because they'll give you the best advice. And Mitch, I don't know how you are with the pet grieving. I know you've had a few dogs and stuff in the past, so it can be pretty traumatizing.
It's horrible, actually, having to put a dog or even a cat down. It's really, really bad stuff. Good information. Love that, Matt. We got more Flash coming up after this.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Jackson.
And I'm Matt Doolittle. Mitch English will be joining us in a little while. So have you seen this show Tires on Netflix?
No, but I keep seeing a lot of press. A lot of people love it.
So I had some time, so I downloaded all 6 episodes for my flight. And it's with Shane Gillis, who, if you remember, he really came to notoriety on SNL when he was fired from SNL. And then a few years later, they brought him back as a host. And he had a little controversy with his stand-up.
Sounds like a Norm Macdonald thing.
Oh,
yeah.
I love Norm. But so if you even saw his stand-up, he's a little more raunchy. touchy in terms of comedy that guys do now versus that. And I watch the show. It is absolutely hilarious. It is one of those where you're like, oh, this is what we're going back to comedy with. It's got some inappropriate jokes. They do ethnic jokes. They do racial jokes. It is, and it's not like it's done like dirty or anything. And there's some sexual jokes in there. But it's one of, it feels like a classic comedy from like from the 90s, from the 80s. The show is more set up like you're watching a 2-hour movie than episodic because they all just go into each other.
Gotcha.
I mean, he self-funded the show. He's got a bunch of his friends on there. I think the breakout star is going to be this guy, Steve Gerben. And the only thing it's been dethroned on Netflix was when Bridgerton just came back out.
Yeah.
And they were like, it actually beat Bridgerton before. And they were like, this is insane for this little, half-hour comedy to be coming back. And they're saying that the popularity of this could bring back some of the stuff that the cancel culture took out, which I'm all for.
I think people are hungry for that.
Yes.
I think The Hangover was probably the last inappropriate, big money-making movie that we were all able to enjoy and laugh and have fun with. And then all of a sudden, all of that stuff got shut down because people's feelings got hurt.
Yeah, everybody got hurt.
For looking the wrong way.
Yeah, this one brings it, he calls the guys that run the car store next to him, the Italian slangs, and they're calling him stuff. And I was like openly laughing on this plane. And my wife looks at me and goes, what are you watching? I'm like, you've got to listen to this part. I kept doing that. She goes, I'll just watch it when I get home. Stop. I'm like, you got to hear this because you don't see stuff like that anymore.
No, and I think that when it comes to comedy and comedians, they all have to just kind of push forward with what they want to say, what they want to create, projects, conversations, scripts, things that might not be appropriate for some, but others find them extremely funny and appropriate.
I thought it was a brilliant strategy too for him to self-fund it.
Yes.
So he couldn't have any money producer come along and say, oh, you can't say this, we're worried about the investment going. He's like, no, and you can see it shot very, not cheaply, but they use one or two sets the whole time.
Gotcha.
It's set in a tire store. He's working
kind
with
of
his
Clerks, Kevin Smith sort of.
Exactly, a very small crew,
Yeah.
or very small cast rather, but it's done brilliantly. So definitely check that out.
Okay, Tires on Netflix.
Tires on Netflix.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Getting a ton of buzz right now.
And don't get offended. All right, there's a new toy for the uber rich. An Austrian company says it can build a submersible yacht that can host up to 20 guests and 40 staffers. The concept involves a 540-foot super yacht that would travel about 820 feet underwater and stay down there for a month. The company describes it as the perfect vessel for yacht owners who want privacy, security, and protection. Because when you say yacht owners, you have to. Buyers can fill out a checklist of options, including a helipad, hot air balloon, and for the aspiring Bond villain, the underwater shark feeding station. The super yacht could host all kinds of extras like mini subs, exploration vehicles, and working boats. The cost? If you have to ask, you can't afford. The company says there are only about 50 people in the world who could afford it to purchase the super sub yacht. You got too much money if you can go buy this.
I did see an article about how one group has decided they're going to do the submersible thing again, just to prove that the submersible thing works.
We already did that. People lost their lives. They spent, what was it, like $250,000 a person to go down there and be run by an Xbox controller? No. These concepts, like we talked earlier this week about a hotel or apartment building up in space, and these concepts are good, but they're not thought out thoroughly sometimes.
To me, when you think about the submersible and the Titanic, there's a reason why the Titanic is shipwrecked. It's down at the bottom of the sea. It should be left there and left alone.
It was unsinkable. Wow. At the time, if you've seen the documentary by James Cameron, it was unsinkable.
Sure. We're back right after this. In today's Life Love Shopping, our focus is on love. Please welcome Arlene Pellicane, a top marriage and parenting author, to our show. Arlene, welcome. You just wrapped up Marriage Week and you're here to tell us more.
It's so good to be with you. National Marriage Week runs every year from February 7th to 14th. And it's a week to say, hey, you know what? Marriage, sometimes it gets bad press or not enough press. And this is a week to say marriage is a good thing. It's good for people. It's good for our nation. It's good for kids. So it's been a really fun week.
This year's theme for Marriage Week is Love Beyond Words. Why this angle for 2024?
Yeah, love beyond words. It's kind of like, don't just talk about it, do it, So when you said I do, in sickness and in health, for richer or for poorer, love beyond words, this theme is, hey, let's fulfill the vows that we make. Let's say that's something I committed to and I'm going to show up for you. Let's have that love beyond words that's not just cheap talk, but it's actions, things as small as, hey, this is my favorite dessert we're sharing and I'll let you have the, last bite, to as big as a person I just recently talked to, their husband had lost his eyesight. And for the past 9 years, he said, she's been my eyes. She'd made sure that I match. She's made sure that I get to my places on time. So it's a love beyond words that keeps showing up over and over again. That's really beautiful.
Well, it's hard to match that as an example, but are there other ways we can
I wanted to give you the
words?
spectrum,
Yeah.
the bite of dessert to all the way to taking care of someone.
Right. Any other ways that are simple for us just in a daily basis? You mentioned, the last scoop of dessert. Other ways we can love beyond words that are simple, but mean a lot.
Yeah. We think of this rhythm of daily connection and weekly dates and regular getaways. So daily connection, that's about, I'm going to spend 2 minutes without my phone, just looking at you and talking to you, or we'll take a short walk at the end of the day. Or, I'll send you a text and tell you that I love you in the middle of the day. Or I know a couple, they always have coffee together. No matter what happens in their schedule, they get up before that happens and they have 10 minutes together and they have coffee. So it's a daily connection that lets your spouse know, I got you and I still care about you, and then that weekly date. I love to tell people, shoot for a weekly date and you'll probably get 1 or 2 a month, and that is just fine. But it gives you something to look forward to. Make it novel, make it creative at marriageweek.org. Our website, we have all these creative date nights so that you can kind of make it more interesting, whether it's making a list from A to Z and kind of trying to find a date that kind of goes with each one of those letters, or try to see what can you accomplish with $25? Can you actually feed yourself with $25? So just try to infuse some different things and don't stop dating. And then regular getaways, like put something on your calendar. Even if you have young kids, your baby won't remember that you were away for 24 hours. Your toddler won't remember, but your spouse will remember. And so whether it's saving up for that vacation of a lifetime, or it's going a half an hour away and spending the night at a hotel and having 24 hours, those regular getaways, those are always love beyond words to show I still care about you.
What are some of the statistics saying about the state of marriage today, and how is it impacting our younger generation?
Yeah, we always hear, the divorce rate, all these things. The divorce rate is actually down, but it kind of makes sense because the marriage rate is also down. So the marriage rate has fallen by 65% since 1970. And if you look, for instance, at the silent generation, 81% of them got married. The boomers, 61% of them got married. Gen X, 53%, millennials, 44%. You can see, Andrea, this is, we're ticking down in terms of who's they're getting married. And what it means moving forward, if it continues in this trajectory, is that 1 out of 3 young people will never marry. And that's a pretty sobering statistic from an economical standpoint, from a fertility replacement standpoint,
Sure.
and just a happiness standpoint, because we always talk about college, go to college, but those boosts, college gives you a 64% boost in happiness.
Arlene, thank you so much. Stay with us.
Thank
We're back
you.
right after this. Heading to the chapel soon and looking for the perfect bridal and wedding guest attire. Here's what you need to know.
Global fashion and lifestyle online retailer Shein unveiled a wedding-focused pop-up experience, Shein Love Chapel, in the heart of Las Vegas. Dressed up in trendy and affordable wedding attire from Shein, couples got Vegas hitched in non-legally binding commitment ceremonies officiated by stars from Love is Blind.
We are honored to play a special role in the Shein Love Chapel experience by officiating commitment ceremonies for couples.
Sharing in the love of other couples and creating lasting memories is something truly special to us.
Shein Love Chapel participants and Fashion Show Las Vegas visitors were invited to explore a shopping extension of the activation featuring fashionable pieces for any wedding party member or guest.
Shein has everything you need for the big day, from party dresses and flirty sleepwear to bridesmaids dresses and bridal gowns. There's also an array of bachelorette accessories and reception decor to complete the celebration in style.
Download the Shein app or visit Shein.com to learn more.
Father's Day is coming up and graduation season is in full swing now. If you're totally stumped on what to get those dads and grads in your life, digital lifestyle expert Mario Armstrong is here with some helpful ideas and helpful tips. Hey, Mario.
Hey, thanks so much for having me. And you're right, I've partnered with a few great brands to give you all some gift inspiration for those dads and grads out there.
Mario, what's the best bet for the tech-loving dads and grads?
The best choice for dads and new grads who game and innovate is HP's Omen Transcend 14 gaming laptop. This is an ultra-light device, has a powerful Intel Core Ultra processor and stunning NVIDIA graphics, also has an advanced cooling system, long battery life, and USB-C fast charge. And then I also want you to complement this with the HyperX Cloud 3 wireless gaming headset. This has precise 3D sound during gaming or communications, no dongles, no menus, just better gaming right out of the box. And that's not all. HP also has the all-in plan. I love this. It gets you all your printing essentials for one low monthly payment. With the all-in plan, you get an all brand new printer, automatic ink delivery, continuous printer coverage, and dedicated 24/7 live support. Plans start at only $6.99 a month with no upfront costs, and you can try it for 30 days risk-free. And thanks to built-in smart technology, your printer ships fresh ink to you when it detects that you're low. I love that.
How about a resource for great deals and budgeting for our gift list?
Well, we all want to spoil the dads and grads in our lives, right? So here's a tip. Start with the PayPal app. You can click to save cashback offers right from your favorite brands like Best Buy, Ticketmaster, Walmart, and more, right on your mobile device, and they will be applied automatically when you check out. And if you want to get even more rewards, use the PayPal Cashback MasterCard to earn an additional 3% cashback on eligible purchases. It's really just a smart way to shop and to save some money.
Any other creative ideas?
Oh, for the creatives, the perfect idea for dads and grads is going to be this, the Lego Technic McLaren Formula One race car. Look how cool this is. It's a detailed model, a unique collaboration between Lego and McLaren Racing, features a V6 engine with moving pistons, working steering, suspension, and a differential. It mirrors the real car. It's designed for adult builders and car enthusiasts. It's an immersive project. It results in a stunning display piece. It even has authentic sponsor stickers on it, showcasing your dedication and craftsmanship. You can't go wrong with that. People will love it.
And where can we go for more info?
Just head over to our website. We got all the details there at inthenews.tv.
Thanks again for joining us, Mario. We'll be sure to post this information on our website at dailyflashshow.com.
23% of people actually abandon their New Year's resolution by the first week of January, and nearly 50% move on before the month ends. Here's lifestyle editor Joanne Butler. She's got advice on how to actually stick to your resolutions.
Oh, thanks for having me. Well, for me, it's all about creating a habit and doing something after I do something else. Like after I shower, I'm going to moisturize my skin, or after I have my first cup of coffee, I'm going to go for that walk. That just helps me create a routine and then actually stick to it. Of course, when I need a little more help than that, or just a friendly reminder, or even some inspiration, I leave myself love notes. So don't be afraid to leave a Post-it note everywhere. I love these Post-it super sticky notes because they stick everywhere. Shower doors, windows, walls, you name it. And they come in fun colors, and they're great for color coding tasks. And then these are a little bit bigger than traditional size. They're 4x6, so amazing for shopping lists and meal planning and homework, and just if you want to leave someone a note. And they also have an environmentally friendly option. These are made from 100% recycled paper. Even the packaging is recyclable, and they come in these pretty pastels too, which I just love for spring. They have some super organizational tips and tricks on their website too at postit.com and on their social accounts. So definitely follow them at Post-it. Next are beauty routines. I vowed to moisturize and take better care of my skin, which a lot of people have, but most don't realize that their scalp is skin too, and that needs to be taken care of as well, especially this time of year when we bundle up in hats. All that excess sweat and irritation gets built up in there, and it makes you more susceptible to dandruff symptoms. So you need the right shampoo, and this is my go-to to alleviate this uncomfortable feeling. It's Head and Shoulders Bare. It goes really deep to fight dandruff at the source and just refreshes your scalp. And it only has 9 ingredients, including the active ZPT, clinically proven to fight dandruff, and it's free from sulfates, silicones, and dyes. There's Bare Pure Clean for oily hair and scalps, and Bare Soothing Hydration for drier. It's just $9.99 $9.99 online and in store at Walmart. So it's a great deal. Now, last but not least, daylight saving is the annual reminder to make sure all of the important things around your house are in check and working, especially the ones that keep us safe, like smoke and carbon monoxide alarms. Well, Kidde is a fabulous brand that has made this a whole lot easier this year. Instead of replacing the batteries in your smoke and or carbon monoxide alarms, you can install this one that has a built-in battery that lasts for 10 years. It's their smoke and carbon monoxide alarm smart features. It has a built-in lithium backup battery. It helps keep your family safe even when the power goes out. Plus, you can easily check it through the Kidde Home Safe app when you're not home. It'll even give you urgent notifications if smoke or carbon monoxide is detected. So just love this. You can get it right at kidde.com, Amazon, and at the Home Depot. Really a game changer. And there you have it, my spring lifestyle essentials to help you stick to those resolutions and regimens that you made for yourself.
KSA Entertainment is proud to produce and provide a robust collection of entertaining, uplifting, and timely content to broadcast, cable, and streaming platforms in the U.S., Canada, and Puerto Rico. KSA Entertainment. On point, on air.
Hey, we love hearing from you. We want you to be informed. That's why we put everything we've been talking about right there on our website. You can go check it out right now. It's dailyflashshow.com. It's open 24 hours a day, and it's absolutely free to go and check out.
Is there a drive-through?
We're getting one installed. The speakers are broken right now, though.
Excellent. Welcome back to Daily Flash. It's the year 1969 and an ambitious woman aspires to cross the line between the haves and the have-nots. It's her way of securing a seat at America's most exclusive table. This is today's must-watch series, Palm Royale.
How did you get past security?
I came in the back.
There are no doors on the back of the Palm Royale?
I never said I used the door.
I had only been in Palm Beach 2 weeks.
We don't know you.
I'm Maxine Delacourt. But I already knew the Palm Royale, the most exclusive club in the world, was where I belonged.
Evelyn, you are the woman to know in Palm Beach.
I don't like you, Maxine.
You're very good at making things awkward.
I don't concern myself with the shenanigans of vapid poons.
What is Evelyn wearing?
Sleeves.
You know anything about rich people?
I parked on the lawn.
Robert, shake me another martini, and then let's play doctor.
Do you work, Maxine? God, no. You want to work.
God, no.
You really want all this. More than anything I've ever wanted in my whole life.
Like to take a few pictures?
Maxine, you're the lead story.
I see us all as one sisterhood.
Are people looking for something new?
Let me tell you a little something about the Palm Royale. It's a nightmare, and that's all thanks to you.
Don't underestimate a Delacourt.
I would never.
Palm Beach is just a shell game. Everybody has a secret.
You two behave.
You don't have to have money. The blackmail is right here.
You don't know the half of it. What in the fires of hell's pits is going on here?
Off we go.
Looks fun.
Kristen Wiig, Ricky Martin, Carol Burnett.
Ricky Martin, you know, who would thunk it? It's going to be interesting to see his acting chops.
If you look at him, though, he looks like a movie star.
Oh, he does.
Idol,
He always
right?
has,
Old
right?
school.
Indeed.
Yeah.
That does it for our show. We definitely appreciate you joining us. Of course, at any time you'd like, you could always check out all the information we talked about on our website.
Yeah, dailyflashshow.com is our web address. Web address. You can drive by there and find us. Use the drive-through, if you will.
And if you want to have more fun, why don't you join us tomorrow? Because we're going to do it all over again. We deeply appreciate you. Y'all take care. We will see you when we look at you.
Be good, everybody.